YouTube, what's up with y'all? It's Chosen 1K. I want to talk to you guys about my experience of me having a 9 to 5 and, the different jobs that I've worked at. I worked at a lot of different jobs just throughout my life and things like that. And, I've seen a lot and I've been through a lot dealing with 9 to 5s. And, I just kind of want to just talk about it, just to kind of just give you guys an insight on what I've been through. So, my very first 9 to 5 job that I worked at was at McDonald's. All right. I had just turned 16. Just turned 16. I probably wasn't even 16 a week yet. And I was putting in my application. I got hired, and I started, and it was so new to me. It was exciting. I was actually genuinely excited. Like, I was happy about it. I just really wanted to just start making some money. And, I just stuck around with it. I stuck with it. I didn't leave. I just worked. I went to school, left school, came home, changed my outfits, and went to work. I would work from 5 to 10 most times. Sometimes I come in at 4, get off at 10. So, I have maybe 5-6 hour shifts right after work. Right after school. And, my experience with McDonald's, I've learned a lot when I was working at McDonald's, but it was demanding, mentally, physically demanding. It was very fast paced. I learned how to increase my workflow, my work pace. I learned how to work, and, I learned a lot of things about myself that I didn't really realize at the time, And, I had to learn how to work with other people. I had to learn how to deal with other people, like different managers and, having different coworkers and things like that. It was kind of different because, I was so young. And so, my peers were all so young, and, it was a lot going on, a lot of drama, stuff like that. You know how that goes when you work somewhere and, the coworkers dating each other and the managers, it's just, then it's McDonald's too, and I live in Mississippi. So, it wasn't nothing special or nothing like that. But, for me, I know it was something new. I eventually became a team lead, and, I worked there for like years, like 3 years, from 2016, like September 2016 to like April 2019. So I worked there for like 2.5 years, kind of on and off. But for the majority, I worked there so long, so much, and that was just how I made my money. And at that time, I was doing YouTube, but YouTube wasn't really like something that I was doing full time or nothing like that. Like, back then I was a kid, so I genuinely did YouTube just for fun, And I actually ended up getting my very first YouTube check at the age of 16. That was new to me. I never experienced nothing like that. I genuinely just uploaded videos on YouTube, and just it did well. And once I learned that I could actually make money online on YouTube, it kind of changed my perspective. But I was still excited because at the time, I never had that kind of money at 16. I never had like close to $1,000 at 16. That was so new to me, at least $1,000 to myself to spend, like just send to my account, and I was young. So, of course I went and bought Jordans and clothes. So, you learn, like I said, you learn. I still wear them shoes that I bought when I was 16, still to this day. So, I don't have any regrets. I've learned from everything. I just learned so much when I was working, when I first started working. And I went through so many different phases. I was depressed at one point. I was happy at one point. I was broke at one point. I was paid at one point. It was just so many different stages. Then I was in high school. So you're going through the different phases of high school. Then as a teenager, you're 16, 17, 18. You're going through crazy stages, mentally like it's just so much. It's just so much that you go through at that age right there. and I was exposed to so much. You know, I was hanging out with different guys, new people, just all types of stuff, right? But looking back at those times, I really wish that, I had the type of mindset that I did now back then, because, you know, um, the kind of money that I was making, I didn't realize that, I could actually flip it and, do different things here and there, and, build my credit. I didn't know about any of those things when I was 16, 17. Like, I wasn't trying to start no business at that time. I was looking into online business and drop shipping, but I was thinking that I would have already had thousands of dollars to, put towards that. So that kind of turned me away from it. And then, I kind of re-entered it, once I got into college and stuff like that. And I also worked at different restaurants and stuff, and I kind of had the same type of learning lessons and experiences, working at different restaurants that I did working at McDonald's. So, working at these 9 to 5s and stuff like that, I worked at factories. After I graduated high school, I went to a factory for that summer before I went to college. And the factory was very physically demanding, and I was there for 12 hours, and it was very, very stressful. I'm not gonna lie. It was stressful. I was depressed. I was depressed working there. I'm not gonna lie. It was depressing. And I just remember having a lot of negative experiences and negative memories when I look back at working at these fast food and factory jobs, man. That's why I just really wanted to do something with my life. I wanted to go to college. I wanted to start a business. I wanted to do all of these things because it was so hard on me. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, man. It was hard on me. It was hard for me to do. I did it, but it wasn't easy for me to do. I'm telling you. It'll be some days I just really didn't want to go to work. Like, I just really did not feel like going to work. I'm tired, this and that and the third. It was hard for me to work out. It was hard for me to get my diet how I wanted to because I'm always at work. It was hard for me to save because I wasn't really getting paid much. I'm working so much, but I'm barely getting paid. I didn't know about investing. I didn't know about credit. I didn't know about Bitcoin and crypto. I didn't know about that stuff until I was already in college. I was already in college and not really working while I was in college. I was trying to get my school checks and do all of these things, and it kind of worked. It did. Actually, it did. It was going well. I'm not going to lie. But I got into a bad relationship and, kind of messed things up a little bit and, made a lot of bad decisions and stuff like that I'm still dealing with to this day. So, it's just a lot of different things that, just how things transpired. I try not to question how things transpired in my life, but that's just how it happened. It just happened the way it happened, and, I can't even question it. I can't even get mad about it. I can't even, because these are the types of things that makes me who I am today. I really can't get mad about these things, man, but I do remember having a lot of negative experiences working these jobs. And I just can only imagine me finding a job, a 9 to 5 job, and spending the next 40 years of my life working at that 9 to 5 job and experiencing the same things that I used to experience when I was working earlier, and just dealing with the same types of things. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to be at work and I'm just so tired and ready to go, and I'm stressed and I'm depressed and I'm ready to quit, and I'm sick. I hate this job, and I hate my life, and all of this crazy stuff that happens when you're working a job that you hate, when you're working a job that's physically demanding. I mean, come on, man. It's so much to have to deal with, and I learned a lot about myself. But still, man, if I could go back and change how I did it, I would learn more things about myself in a different kind of way. You feel what I'm saying? Like, like I said, I don't regret nothing, but if I could go back, I would change a couple things. I wouldn't do things the exact same way. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, bro. I'm not. I'm gonna be so real with y'all. Like, nah. I would go back and change some things. Definitely would go back and change some things. The first thing that I probably would do, ain't no probably to it. If I'm in high school and I'm working a job, I'm working on my credit off rip. off top. Nobody told me about credit. I didn't really know much about credit until I was like 20. So if I could go back 16, 17, I would definitely do that, bro. I'm not gonna lie. You know, it's just the small things that I wish that I was doing that, you know, that would have prevented me from dealing with so much hardships later on in life. You feel me? And I'm still early in my life, so I'm still not late catching on, but I'm just sharing my experiences with you guys. I didn't really get ahead working the 9 to 5, but it did get me a little somewhere, but it took a lot too. It took a lot of sacrifices, and it took a lot of stress, and dealing with people is probably the biggest draining thing that you got to deal with, bro. It's dealing with people who you don't really get along with, people that you don't really like. Like, you got to deal with stuff like that. And, you know, I don't really like that at all. I'm not going to lie. I really hate it. And, you know, it's something that you got to deal with. So while you're dealing with all of these things, you're not going to be content with that situation. So my recommendation is to have another game plan or a strategy while you're working at a 9 to 5 to get you out of there, because you don't want to have to deal with that for the rest of your life. Nobody wants to deal with a bickering manager who's always, you know, always got something to yell about and be mad about and controlling you, bossing you around. Who wants to deal with that? Nobody wants to deal with that. A coworker who gives you a headache, always picking and, you know, just getting on your nerves. Who wants to deal with that? Nobody wants to deal with that. And that's the point that I'm trying to make. You know, these 9 to 5s, man, you know, I'm not knocking a 9 to 5. But I'm just sharing you guys my experiences and why I'm deciding to go a different path in my life. 9 to 5s, I just feel like it's just not for me. I've never been fired from a 9 to 5 job. I've only ever quit a 9 to 5 job. I'm a good worker. I know how to work, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm a worker and then I'm a slave. I know how to work, though. I know how to do it, but I refuse to allow myself to be a slave. I know my worth. I know my value. And I'm tired of overworking for underpayment. I don't want to do that no more. I'm tired of being overworked for underpay. That's it. That's it. I'm tired of overworking just to get underpaid. It's just so much that we have to deal with at these jobs, and we're not even getting paid. We're not even getting paid. It's still not enough to pay our bills. You still got to go out and find a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth stream of income. That's sad. We got to work so hard, breaking our body down every single day. I remember working at the factory, my arm, all of this, my back. I remember working at McDonald's, my lower back. It was horrible. It was bad. It was bad. I'm telling you guys, I had to quit. I had to give me a stretching routine, full body stretch. I had to stretch every single day. I had to real deal stretch just to get my body back to feeling normal. Because I'm telling you guys, man, it was bad. It was bad. And so, you know, these 9 to 5s, man, you know, I just really had to just get that off my chest because, you know, man, I'm telling y'all, man, it's not fun. It's not fun. And I feel like you got to treat it like a temporary gig until you can really get to where you're really trying to get to and, you know, living your own self-sufficient life because, man, and I'm not trying to, like, keep anybody from working a 9 to 5. You know, if that's what you want to do, if that's the path that you want to take, that's completely okay. You know, but, you know, based on my experiences and just what I had to deal with and everything that I went through, I feel like I worked so hard from 16, 17, 18, 19. I'm working these jobs, you know, and I barely have anything to show for it, you know, just from them jobs and stuff. Like, it just doesn't make sense, man. It doesn't even get the bills paid, you know, and I feel like this is just absolutely insane because the types of money that these companies make, like, there's no reason why fast food workers are getting paid the way that they're getting paid. They barely getting paid, and yet they working so hard, but yet the prices on the menu are just so high. Why is the food so high, but the workers is not even getting paid? Shit. These folks coming through spending $20, $30 at a time, just one customer for one order, and you got these workers getting paid $7, $8, $9 in every hour per hour. That don't make sense. It's crazy to me. I don't get that. It just doesn't make sense. And the paychecks the money that we making, they taking taxes from out of our paycheck. So the paychecks is already taxed. Then we got to go out and buy things that we need and all, just buying stuff, and we getting taxed again. So we already getting underpaid and overworked, and we getting taxed. Man, come on, bro. Something ain't right about that, bro. That's not the American dream. You really call that the American dream? That ain't no American dream. What kind of dream is that? That's a nightmare. And we supposed to be living in the land of the free? Are we really free? Are we really free? Are we really free in America? Celebrities not even free. People control what they do, control what they say, forcing them to do certain things that they don't want to do. That's not free, bro. Pushing certain agendas into these phones so these kids can look at it, man. And they're capturing the minds of the kids and the youth. Some older people too. Your mind is being captured. People are putting the things that they want you to think in your head. You can't even control with your own thoughts. They're thinking for you. You call that free? That's not free. That's not free. That's not free. And yet we're not supposed to speak up about it. We ain't supposed to do nothing about it. It's just supposed to just be okay. And we just supposed to let it all be just fine. Just let it slide, huh? That's not me. That's not the type of person I am. That's not me. I'm to the point in my life now, I'm going to do what's best for me, and I'm going to do what I feel like is right. And I'm going to do it for me. I'm not going to do anything for nobody else. I live my entire life pleasing everybody else and doing things for everybody else. Now this is my time to do what I want to do for me, because I feel like it's the best decision for me and my kids and my legacy. I'm not doing anything for nobody else because I've already done it. And it hasn't gotten me anywhere close. Nowhere near where I'm trying to get to. So what's the point? What's the point? Ain't no point. The point is, live for you. Do things because you want to do those things. You don't have to be a slave if you don't want to be a slave. You don't have to do that. Don't nobody have the power to control what you do. You have the power to control what you do. Every single day, you control every single action that you take on a daily basis. And we have 24 hours. We have 24 hours. 24 hours to do that. So what are you going to do with your 24 hours? Are you going to be a slave? Are you going to complain about your situation? Or are you going to get up and do something about it? Are you going to get up and make that move? Make a move, make a step? Or are you going to keep complaining? I'm telling you guys, man, I've had bad experiences with 9-to-5s. I had some pretty bad experiences. And I was young then. You know, I don't even think I was supposed to be going through that type of stuff when I was 16, 17. I really feel like I was supposed to be playing basketball and football more. You know, I feel like I should have been living a child life, bro. Like playing more video games or something, bro. Like, I don't think I was supposed to be going through that, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, bro, working at McDonald's, bro, that was traumatizing. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I can't speak for nobody else, but that I'm still traumatized. Still to this day. And that was years ago. That was like 5, 6, 7 years ago. And I'm still traumatized from working at fast foods, from working at factories, all the noises that I used to hear, the beeps from the machines and stuff like that, from the clocks. Just doo 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 doo. Bro, I used to be like in my bed 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just hearing noises. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, like, bro, I'm literally in the bed hearing noises from work, like the noises from the machines, like, like It's in my dreams. Bro, I'm telling y'all, it's not fun. And then when I finally quit, it felt so good. I didn't have the income. But it felt good. It felt good. I'm not gonna lie. I just didn't have the income. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is, how about we just live life on our own means, have our own income, and live life the way we want to. But first, you got to go through this phase, right? First, before you get to that, it's like a gray wall first that you got to get through. You got to get through that gray wall first, and that's the grind stage, where you put that serious work in to put yourself ahead for the rest of your life. And then once you go through that gray wall and you go through that stage, now you're going to get to that next level. Now you can really work for yourself and do the things you want to do. So if you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you guys want to see next. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you guys on the next one.